Jason, you gotta come back. Tommy's in big trouble.
But if I don't get the candle in time, he'll lose his powers.
If we don't get to him in time, he'll lose his life.
Tommy, wake up! You have to wake up! Don't die! You can't die, please!
Sup, you guys? ASD Classified here. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about a fun little topic. Death! In particular, there have been a decent number of Power Rangers who have died in battle. However, they don't tend to stay dead for long. Something or someone, Morphin Masters, tends to bring them back to life 9 out of 10 times, you know. But still, there has been a decent number of Power Rangers who have died heroically in battle. So I thought it'd be fun to make a video talking about this. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about every Ranger who has died in battle at the time of this recording. So first up is Kendrix, the Pink Ranger from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Now, Kendrix's death is of course the most well-known and iconic of all the Power Ranger deaths, right? I mean, every Power Ranger fan knows about her death, okay? She died in the episode Power of Pink, you know, saving the life of another Power Ranger. She saved the life of Cassie, the Pink and Space Ranger. So Kendrix destroyed the Savage sword, which was draining the life force out of Cassie, right? So she destroyed the sword blew up, and then the explosion blew Kendrix up, and then Kendrix was dead. Dead as hell. Kendrix's death is one of the most shocking moments in all of Power Rangers, and it had a big impact on the Lost Galaxy season going forward. But Kendrix did not stay dead. Oh, because she came back to life in the finale of Lost Galaxy with no explanation. To this day, her revival bothers me. I hate that she came back to life like that. If you're gonna bring a character back to life, give us a freaking reason. Don't just have her come back to life because she was tired of being dead. Give us a reason, guys.
I'm okay. I'll always be here.
Next up on the list, Dana, Kelsey, Joel, and Chad from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Oh yes. Oh yes. So the green, blue, yellow, and pink Rangers in Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue did die in a very weird and random episode of the Lightspeed Rescue season. So in the episode called Yesterday Again, Olympus, the Prince of Demons, killed these 4 Rangers in battle. Yes, they died, and it wasn't like, you know, left up to interpretation. No, the episode made it pretty clear that they died in battle. Even though they didn't demorph and they were just laying on the ground morph, they were dead, okay? Carter was trying to get to them in time, but he could not get to his team. They died, okay?
Mother's going to be so proud of me when she finds out there is only one Ranger left.
Now, this episode is just fucking weird to me because I hate time travel, and I especially hate time travel in Power Rangers. And this episode, guess what, deals with time travel. So Carter, he was trying to get to his team in time, right? He was riding in this new vehicle, I think the mobile armor vehicle, I think the name was. He was trying to get to his team in time, trying to drive the thing. He couldn't drive it right. His team died. And then he started to go so fast that he went back in time. Power Rangers is a mess, okay? So Carter went back in time, and then he was able to save his team because he knew what was going to happen before it happened. So yeah, it's a random, crazy episode, but I do like the episode. And yeah, 4 Rangers died in it. It's crazy.
Joel, you're alive.
Of course I am. It's just a simulation.
No, this was really happening. I was trying to get there in time.
Next up on the list is Alex, the Red Time Force Ranger, and Wes, the Red Time Force Ranger. Now, Alex's death has a bit of controversy around it. A lot of people in the fandom never thought that Alex died. They thought in the premiere of Power Rangers Time Force where Rancic seemingly killed him, right? A lot of people in the fandom always thought that Alex never died. Like, Jen was just, you know, making a bullshit decision. She didn't check his pulse or nothing. She just assumed he died, right? And actually he survived all the time. He was just hurt. He was in the hospital for a bit, and then he recovered, and he just waited a long time to tell Jen about it. Dick move. But yeah, some people in the fandom never thought he died. Other people in the fandom assumed that he did die, but because the Time Force Rangers went back in time and they were changing a lot of shit in the timeline, one of those changes ended up reviving Alex. And in the main Power Ranger comic book, they seem to have taken, you know, the latter explanation. In Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 28, Jen was having a conversation with Kimberly, the Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger, and through that conversation it was heavily implied that Alex did die, but because the Rangers were changing shit in the timeline, one of the changes was that Alex did come back to life, but he came back different. He wasn't the same as he used to be, and that's why Alex and Jen, their relationship didn't work out. But yeah, I'm not here to convince people you can believe what you want. I choose to believe that Alex did die and then changes in the timeline brought him back. So yeah. Now moving to Wes. So there is a timeline where Wes died as well. If you remember in the Time Force finale, Alex was explaining to Jen, Trip, Lucas, and Katie that Wes actually saved his timeline on his own. Like in the final battle in the year 2001, Wes by himself was able to stop Rancic and the Cyclobots and that big ass robot that Frax built. He was able to stop all of that, but it cost him his life. And because Wes died in his timeline, the other Power Rangers, you know, they said, hell no, we're not going to let our teammate die to save our lives and to save our timeline. We're going back in time and we're going to help him fight and we're going to help him survive. And I always loved that about the Power Rangers Time Force finale. So yeah, Wes was supposed to die, and in a certain timeline he did die, but the rest of the Time Force Rangers said no, we make our own destiny or whatever bullshit they were talking about in Time Force. So they went back in time and saved him.
Wes, you're not the only one who can choose your own destiny. We all can.
Okay. Okay.
Next up, Sky takes Dad in Power Rangers SPD. So, Sky, the SPD Blue Ranger and future Red Ranger and future commander of Space Patrol Delta. So Sky's dad was a Power Ranger when he was a child, and he died in battle when Sky was a kid. Very sad stuff, right? We never got a name for Sky's dad, I don't think. People used to assume that it was Wes because his suit was the same as the Time Force red suit, but it's not Wes, guys. It's not. But yeah, he's his own character. His suit just happened to look like Wes's Time Force suit, okay? It seems like that suit is cursed because everybody who wears it tends to die, but okay. So yeah, Sky's daddy was killed in battle by an alien criminal named Murloc, right? But Sky was able to eventually get, you know, vengeance on this alien. He whooped that alien's ass and put his ass right back in jail, and he even did it with a cool battleizer. So awesome. The only thing I hate about that episode is that they really pussyfooted around when it came to Sky's dad and talking about that he died. Like, they refused to say the word. Like, refused. And it always annoyed me when that episode came out, when that two-parter came out, right? Just annoyed me. You can at least say destroyed. He was destroyed. If you don't want to say he died or whatever, say destroyed at least. Just weird.
Sky's dad was an amazing ranger.
Yeah, and so is he. He's the best.
Right. We're all proud to fight by his side.
How touching.
Moving on to Mystic Force. So Daggeron and Lianbo died in Mystic Force, okay? Now look, I know that Mystic Force tend to call them knights, but I'm just gonna, I don't make that kind of separation. The knights are also considered to be Power Rangers in my book, okay? Like, not every ranger is a knight, but every knight is a ranger. That's how I see it. So yeah, Daggeron and Lianbo count as Power Rangers, and they died in the finale of Power Rangers Mystic Force. Of course, they ended up being revived in the end by the Queen of the Vampires, Necroli. But yeah, they still died, and the Rangers did mourn them, however brief it was, right? Also, I think it's pretty safe to say that the original Mystic Force pink, green, blue, and yellow died as well, because we never saw those motherfuckers again after, you know, the big original battle where the forces of evil were sealed in the underworld. Yeah, we never saw those hoes again. So it's pretty safe to assume that they all died, okay? Why would you need new Rangers if they didn't, right? And those hoes did not come back. They stayed dead permanently. And while this may be a controversial opinion, if you want to get technical, the ancient mystic mode that some of the old mystic warriors had, that could be considered like a old school Power Ranger form, maybe? And if you consider it that, well, then the original gatekeeper, Niella, died in battle when she sealed the gates of the underworld. And Imperius, who was once an ally of the Mystic Force and then he turned evil, he also had an ancient Mystic Mode form and he died. So that's 2 more people, if you consider them, but I understand if you don't. But yeah, Liambo, Daggeron, and some of the other original Mystic Force Rangers, they died.
I'd rather die with honor than live without it. So be it!
Okay, next up, Mac, the Red Ranger from Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Now, is it possible for an android to die? Well, in Power Rangers it is, okay? Mac was originally an android, and in the finale of Operation Overdrive, he died in battle. He faced off against Furious, who had the power of the Corona Aurora, the crown of the gods. So, Mac sacrificed himself to defeat Furious and save the city and the world, I guess. So yeah, he died in battle, saving everybody, right? The guardian of the Corona Aurora, the Sentinel Knight, used the crown of the gods to revive Mac, right? And then Mac was revived, and he was revived as a human, and he was super duper happy to be alive and human.
Guys! Feel it, Rose.
Moving on to Power Rangers RPM, we have Jim and Gemma, the Gold and Silver Rangers. They died in the RPM finale. Yes, the main villain, Vengex, erased them from existence. He had hacked into the morphin grid, the biofield, and doing that, it gave him the power to erase anything connected to the biofield. And when Rangers morph, they're connected to the biofield. So he erased Jim and Gemma from existence. But don't worry, Dr. K, with her genius mind, was able to save them and resurrect them, and the day was saved.
That's the biofield for you.
Can create it.
Can destroy it.
Next up, Jaden and Lauren's daddy, the 17th Red Samurai Ranger from Power Rangers Samurai. Yes, he died in battle. He died in battle. So years ago, when Jaden and Lauren were children, the Nilox were attacking, and the 17th team of Samurai Rangers faced them off. And the Red Ranger, Mr. White Man Shiva, he used the sealing symbol to seal Master Xandred and his Nilox back into the Netherrealm. I don't remember what they called it in Samurai. The Netherrealm. He sealed them there, but it was an imperfect seal, so they didn't stay there for long. But yeah, during that battle, when he sealed them, their dad died. He died. His death was also confirmed in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 27. So if you don't believe me, go read that.
One day the great responsibility of being the Red Ranger will fall to you. Stand by your allies and never run from a battle.
Next, Robo Knight from Power Rangers Megaforce and Super Duper Megaforce. So yeah, the show considered this fake ass Captain Planet robot as a ranger, so he counts.
Why didn't you tell us there was a 6th ranger?
There is?
She means Robo Knight.
Oh, yeah, him.
Robo Knight died in he died in the 2-part episode called Varrock is Bach, right? He died in that episode, saving Orion, the Silver Ranger. Yeah, he died. And like Kendrix in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, Robo Knight magically came back to life in the finale of Super Megaforce. He just magically, randomly showed up, no explanation for how he's back to life. He's just there, and I hate it. I hate it even more than Kendrix coming back to life. It's just, my God, is this so hard to explain how a character can come back to life in Power Rangers? Like, I mean, any mystical item would do, guys. Just give me an explanation.
Does that mean...
Yeah. He's gone.
Moving on to Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Steel, the Silver Ranger. He died in, of course, the finale of Beast Morphers. Most of them tend to die in the finale. So yeah, Steel died in the finale. He was a robot that was also half human. He never shut up about that. So yeah, he died in the battle against Evox, aka Vengex. Yeah, Vengex kills a lot of Rangers. So yeah, Steel dies, but then he's resurrected after they beat Vengex because Morphix, Morphin Grid, Morphin Masters, whatever reason you want to make up, he was revived and he was turned fully human. Yay.
Steel made the choice to fight Evox alone. And now he's gone.
And lastly, in the TV show, at the time of this recording, we go to Dino Fury, where most of the original Dino Fury Rangers died or were lost, right? I'm just gonna take that to mean that they died. You know, Power Rangers, it struggles with the word death, you know. At times they can say destroyed, but usually when they die, when a Ranger dies, they say they were lost. I think they said they were Jim and Gemma as well in RPM. So yeah, in Dino Fury, all of Zato's original team were lost. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that they're all dead, at least at the time of this recording. This could all change. They could be miraculously alive somewhere. They could be revived in the finale, but for now, they're all dead.
My friends, the other knights, they were lost.
So yeah, that's all the Power Ranger deaths in the TV show, but there have still been a lot of other Ranger deaths in other mediums. So we're moving to the comic books now. So yeah, in the Shattered Grid arc of the Power Rangers comics, there was a lot of Ranger deaths. A lot. So there's a timeline in the comic book known as the Coinless timeline, and this is where a villain named Lord Draken comes from. Lord Draken is an evil version of Tommy. So yeah, in this reality, Tommy stays evil by his own choice and becomes the most powerful evil villain ever, right? So yeah, the Billy in the Coinless timeline died. ZACK also died, but the main Mighty Morphin Rangers did some comic book nonsense messing with the timeline to fix it, and ZACK ended up coming back to life. But that doesn't change the fact that he did die at one point. So yeah, Coinless timeline, Billy died. Coinless timeline, ZACK died, and then came back to life. In the Coinless timeline, Lord Draken also created his own army of Power Rangers known as like the Sentry Rangers. Skull in the Coinless timeline became a Sentry, but he was actually working as a double agent to betray Lord Draken. But he ended up dying for his troubles. But don't worry, Skull fans, he was also resurrected when the Rangers, you know, comic book magic the timeline to fix it. So yeah, Skull was resurrected, but he did die. In the Draken New Dawn comic book series, it was revealed that Adam in the Coinless timeline was also a Sentry, but he did turn good and he tried to help the good guys, and then he also died for his trouble. And it was very sad. I loved that comic book series. Well, I loved issue 1 and 2. Issue 1 and 2 is like some of the greatest writing I've ever read in my life. Issue 3 had problems. But yeah, overall, great story. And yeah, sucks that Adam died. Really sucks. Especially for Scorpina. Tommy also died a lot in the comic book. Oh, a lot of Tommies in different timelines died in the Shattered Grid arc. Lord Draken hates himself. So he definitely set out to kill all the other versions of himself in the timeline. He killed the Zeo one. I think he killed Dr. O as well. And then of course, one of the most iconic panels in the Power Ranger comics is when he killed Green Ranger Tommy. Stabbed him in the back, right? Don't worry, comic book magic brought him back to life. But yeah, he did die at one point. Now bear with me, I have not read every comic book about Power Rangers. I have not and will not. But I know there was a team, Supersonic or some shit, I don't know, that the Green Psycho Ranger comes from. Like there used to be a team of 6 Rangers, then the green one betrayed them and killed his entire team off, and then he became Psycho Green, right? That's what I'm hearing anyway. So yeah, 5 Rangers died because of Psycho Green. Oh, technically Psycho Green killed more than that. So in the comics, it was revealed that Zordon put together a team in 1969, right? He put together a team to make sure that Rita's dumpster wasn't taken by Psycho Green, I guess. I don't know. It's been a while since I read that issue. But the point is, Psycho Green engaged these Rangers in 1969, and he killed 3 of them. Only the Red and Yellow Rangers survived the battle. Yeah, that sucks. In the Power Ranger comic book, Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness, Astronomer was seen killing like a team of Rangers, or at least trying her best to. She definitely killed the Pink Ranger of the team. I'm not so sure if she killed the rest of that team. It was implied that they were gonna die from their wounds, but I'm not too sure if they did. And this comic was connected to the current Power Ranger comic that I'm behind on. So I don't know if they explained that the rest of them died in it. I don't know. But she definitely killed the pink one at least. So yeah, more Ranger death. I'm sure there were other Ranger deaths in the comic book. I think Gia may have died during the Shadow Grid arc. I'm not too sure. But whatever. That's all I can give you, okay, from the comics, okay, to my knowledge. Oh, but I'm still not done because we have to talk about the 2017 Power Ranger movie. So in this movie, in this timeline, Zordon was a Power Ranger and Rita was also a Power Ranger. She was the Green Ranger on Zordon's team, and then she, of course, betrayed her team. And everybody on the team died except for Zordon. So yeah, more Ranger death there. Crazy. Also in the 2017 movie, Billy, of course, died. Yes, Rita Repulsa killed Billy in the movie. But don't worry, didn't stay dead. He was resurrected by the power of the Morphin Grid, Morphin Masters, whatever, okay? He was resurrected. But yeah, his death was very, very sad. It was probably the saddest of all these Ranger deaths. They really put the emotion on Billy's death, baby. And Billy was the best character in the movie. So of course you felt bad when he died. So yeah, ugh. So glad they brought him back.
Did I die?
Yes. No.
A little bit. You guys brought me back to life. I told you we were superheroes.
So yeah, those are all the Rangers who have died in battle at the time of this recording. If I missed a Ranger, and I probably have, let me know in the comments. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, later guys. Ciao, mato.